Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your delicious lunch. At this time, I'd like to thank the City of Edmonton, who is the sponsor for today's luncheon. And it is now my distinct pleasure and honor to invite Aaron O'Neill, APPI past president and past chair of the APPI Awards Committee, and also my mentor, to get us started with the awards.
Thank you, Nabil. I am honored to be here today on behalf of the Awards Committee, Tim Brocklesby, Chris DeLuba, Kelly Lau, and James Mazik to present this year's awards recipients. Each year, the Alberta Professional Planners Institute recognizes exemplary work within the planning profession. Awards acknowledge meritorious plans and projects undertaken in whole or in part by members of the Institute that significantly contribute to the livability of communities in Alberta, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. Thank you to the City of Edmonton for sponsoring this year's presentation. There are 5 award categories: Comprehensive and Policy Plan, Design Plan, Special Study, Emerging Technology, and Education. The APPI Awards Committee reviewed and evaluated 16 submission packages over a 4-week period prior to the committee meeting to adjudicate the award recipients. I am pleased to announce that 6 plans or projects are being awarded planning merit. I'm going to do a quick introduction of each of the awards, and then when we call your names, if you would like to come to the front, over by this end where Mac and Mary Jane are, to accept your award and for a photo. Can I have the next slide, please, Sherry? Thank you. So the award for planning merit goes to Edmonton's Infill Roadmap 2018 in the Comprehensive and Policy Plan category. It is a comprehensive, yes, thank you. It is a comprehensive and inclusive journey that began asking the challenging question: how do you welcome more people and homes in Edmonton's older neighborhoods? This ultimately became a strong foundation for a series of major new planning initiatives. The Edmonton Infill Roadmap contains 25 actions which set Edmonton on the path to answer that question and will help the City of Edmonton achieve its key strategic outcomes and contribute to a city that is more livable, resilient, and financially and environmentally sustainable. Congratulations to the City of Edmonton, Green Space Alliance, Populous Community Planning Incorporated, Edmonton Heritage Council, Intelligent House, Colliers International, and Courier Studio.
Edmonton's
If those
Infill
recipients
Roadmap
would like to come to the
2018.
stage, thank you.
To understand the actions of the Infill Roadmap 2018, it is first critical to understand the importance of infill in the Edmonton context. Infill is a critical way for Edmonton to manage continued population growth, provide greater diversity of housing choice, reduce our ecological footprint, maximize our existing infrastructure investments, support fiscal sustainability, maintain and improve neighborhood vibrancy, and bolster small businesses and local economic growth. The strength and highlight of the 2018 version of the Infill Roadmap is in the engagement process and its subsequent results. Administration used the integral city model of city systems that recognizes 4 distinct but integral perspectives of city life: citizens, business community, public institutions, and community organizations. The Infill Roadmap 2018 is comprised of 25 actions that seek to improve knowledge and understanding of infill, increase collaboration between the city and external partners, improve the permitting and construction processes for infill development applications, improve awareness about infill development, and improve the development rules and regulations for infill development to allow for more missing middle forms. As the work implementing the Infill Roadmap 2018 continues, broader conversations will emerge as part of the city plan and zoning bylaw renewal projects about how we might continue to welcome more people and new homes into our older neighborhoods. Going forward, infill will continue to play an increasing role in how Edmonton responds to and harnesses growth. The integrated, coordinated, and cost-effective work of the Infill Roadmap 2018 supports a housing and neighborhood evolution that will create the kinds of urban places that Edmonton needs in order to be a globally competitive metropolitan center. For more information on the Infill Roadmap 2018, please visit coeinfill.ca.
Our next award of planning merit goes to the Tuktoyaktuk Community Plan and Zoning Bylaw revisions in the Comprehensive and Policy Plan category. Rising sea levels, longer periods of open unfrozen water, and stormy weather are rapidly increasing the rate of shoreline erosion and flooding that threatens a traditional community on the shore of the Arctic Ocean. To support mitigation efforts and in alignment with CIP's policy of climate change planning, Tuktoyaktuk recognized the need to develop new planning policies that restrict future development in areas where erosion and flooding are imminent and encourage the gradual redevelopment of the entire community to areas that are not susceptible to climate change effects. Congratulations to the Hamlet of Tuktoyaktuk and Dillon Consulting Limited.
The hamlet of Tuktoyaktuk is a traditional Inuvialuit Arctic community. It has made national and international news because of its vulnerability to the rapidly changing climate. Rising sea levels, longer periods of open, unfrozen water, and stormy weather has increased the rate at which the shoreline of the community is eroding into the Arctic Ocean. This is a threat to community housing, roads, and other infrastructure. To support mitigation efforts, the hamlet of Tuktoyaktuk recognized the need to develop innovative and strict planning policies to restrict future development in at-risk areas. These policies would also encourage gradual community redevelopment to areas that are not susceptible to climate effects. The planning process was led by the hamlet with support from Dillon Consulting and was adapted to respect the culture and traditions of the residents. The final planning documents considered and aligned with the Canadian Institute of Planners Policy on Climate Change Planning. Due to the nature of the area, erosion and flooding will always be a risk to the community. A longer-term continued redevelopment approach was considered for their planning policies. The Tuktoyaktuk Community Plan and Zoning Bylaw met all these requirements through a three-phased approach to redevelopment for both 20-year and 50-year planning horizons. The zoning bylaw supports the implementation of the community plan by using development regulations that aligns with the goals, objectives, and policies of the community plan. It was adopted by Hamlet Council in April 2018. Adoption of the plan supports difficult and unpopular redevelopment decision-making. Following the goals and objectives of the plans, Tuktoyaktuk has managed to secure funding for the safe relocation of their most vulnerable buildings.
Our next award of planning merit goes to the Town of Slave Lake Downtown and Main Street Area Plan and Urban Design Handbook in the Comprehensive and Policy Plan category. Like many rural towns across Alberta, the decline of the downtown and Main Street businesses can be contributed to a number of factors and misfortunes, like the introduction of competing large-scale commercial development along highway commercial corridors and widespread devastation caused by wildfire to hamper rebuilding efforts. The Town of Slave Lake Main Street Urban Development Plan addressed the challenges and is a blueprint for reestablishing Slave Lake's downtown and Main Street as an active, pedestrian-friendly community and commercial destination. Congratulations to the Town of Slave Lake, Green Space Alliance, and ISL Engineering and Land Services.
Town of Slave Lake, Downtown and Main Street Area Plan and Urban Design Handbook, 2017. The plan and handbook respond to challenges faced by many rural small towns within Alberta, such as declining downtowns and main streets, competing with large-scale commercial developments, and maintaining community identity. The plan addresses the challenge of re-establishing Slave Lake's downtown and Main Street as an active and pedestrian-friendly community and commercial hub. The vision and guiding principles of the plan were developed through an extensive public consultation process. Public engagement involved open houses, online surveys, focus group sessions, multi-stakeholder workshops, and pop-up events. The desired community vision is captured in the plan and implemented through policies and handbook guidelines. The policy framework strives to implement the community vision of reclaiming downtown and Main Street as a social, cultural, and commercial backbone of the community. The plan boundary was divided into 6 unique precincts based on the existing and future character attributes such as land use and built form. The 6 precincts include Downtown Core, Downtown North, Civic Center, Urban Village, Mixed Hospitality/Commercial, and Institutional. The handbook establishes a standard of design for Slave Lake that will reflect the town's identity through high-quality built forms and open spaces. A Nature Unlimited theme for the town of Slave Lake was developed to reflect the town's aspiration of integrating its urban environments with the surrounding natural assets. The theme is expressed through guidelines relating to architectural elements, color and material palettes, and personal contributions from property owners. Guidelines of the handbook support the combination of various strategic, tactical, and creative placemaking tools to help develop vibrant urban environments. The handbook serves as a user-friendly resource for town staff, planners, business owners, and developers when reviewing and submitting development applications. The plan establishes 15 strategic priorities that are essential to the transformation of the downtown and Main Street. An action plan identifies short, medium, and long-term tasks necessary to implement the vision and strategic priorities of the plan. Partnerships with various bodies and key institutions in the town, as well as other levels of government, are encouraged to implement the plan. Developing the plan and handbook simultaneously enabled a strong alignment between policies and guidelines. Implementing the plan and handbook will help Slave Lake's downtown and Main Street evolve into a vibrant and charming gathering place. Thank you.
Our next award of planning merit goes to the Ephemeral and Intermittent Streams Project in the Special Study category. The Ephemeral and Intermittent Streams Project represents a new approach in the realm of riparian land management and land use planning in the City of Calgary. In contrast to the improvisational approach historically taken, the Ephemeral and Intermittent Stream Project takes a disciplined approach that factors technical watercourse mapping outcomes, contemporary environmental science and setback design perspectives to build a decision support tool and provide supportive policy recommendations. Congratulations to the City of Calgary, Intelligent Futures, Wood Environment and Infrastructure Solutions, Tanis Conservation Services Limited, and Landwise Incorporated.
Intermittent streams have flowing water periods during the wet season, but are normally dry during hot summer months. Ephemeral streams have less flow than intermittent streams, are typically shallow, and have flowing water for brief periods in response to rainfall. They are often difficult to find. For example, if you go to shoot one of these water bodies in August for an APPI Award video, you would think you found just a small ditch. As a result of their transient nature, these watercourses are often targeted for development. This is not an ephemeral or intermittent stream. These watercourses provide a variety of valuable and unique ecosystem services, including flood risk management, wildlife habitat, and water filtration. Protection of these watercourses is an important part of sustainable land use and water planning, as the impacts of climate change continue to grow. Integrating these streams is an emergent area of planning practice. That means it was nearly impossible to find a precedent or best practice of how planners should manage this ecological feature. The final report provides guidance for how to understand ephemeral and intermittent streams and incorporate them into site planning and other planning processes. For more information on ephemeral and intermittent streams, please go to our project website.
Our Our next award of planning merit goes to the 360 Degree City podcast in the education category. 360 Degree City was developed to address what was perceived as a gap in the dialogue about how our communities evolve and the multitude of factors that influence change. It is relatively rare to have a planning document read by anyone who isn't already intimately involved in community building, professionals, elected officials, and community citizens. They wanted to change that and wanted to ensure that the episodes are accessible and interesting to all listeners, from people who know nothing about planning profession to seasoned experts. Congratulations to Intelligent Futures.
At Intelligent Futures, we've spoken with tens of thousands of people about change in our communities over the last number of years. We thought to ourselves, why don't we have even more of these conversations and share them with the world? So we created 360 Degree City, a podcast that explores cities from all angles. We've covered a wide range of topics in our first stretch of the podcast, so we asked our pal Mike to help explain what we've talked about.
These are city insights streamed for free, and it's urban smart for you and me. We got local food, bottles brewed, mental health for your good mood, and public art and planning smart, and counselor just got her start. Eco goals, urban soul, shine a light on pigeonhole. Reconcile, fight denial, let's all make our planet smile. Cycle track, lighting hacks, nature brings our cities back. Skies above, building love, Instagram fits like a glove. City size, youth are wise, we all need to empathize. The artwork is hip, and urban ag is rocking it. Our city's fate is looking great. There's a lot to celebrate.
Our final award of merit goes to the West District, a new activity center in the design plan category. The story of West District starts with a major land assembly effort in 2013 and a vision to retool suburbia with a new activity center, a higher intensity mixed use, compact and transit supportive node that is described in the Calgary Municipal Development Plan as an urban center for a sub-region of the city. By intensifying the overall number of people and jobs in the region, the plan would direct growth in a way that forested a more compact and efficient use of land, create a complete community, and allow for greater mobility choices to sustain neighborhood vitality. Congratulations to Truman, City of Calgary, Civic Works, S2 Architecture, Navigraph Landscape Architecture and Urban Design, HDR, and Intelligent Futures.
How do you retool suburbia and build a new activity center from scratch? You start with the land. In West Calgary, Truman Homes assembled parcels totaling over 95 acres at the very center of the low-density communities of West Springs and Cougar Ridge. How do you host a conversation that reflects the scale of change and the intended quality of development? You create a purpose-built engagement facility that hosted over 1,800 participants across 4 phases of engagement. We called this Engage Hub. How does West District challenge the status quo? There are 6 big moves that set West District apart from the typical suburban development. Comprehensive planning, a new main street, reintroduction of the grid, a large central open space, transitional intensity, and diversified use and form. Over the next 15 years, West District will realize a unique village center that is expected to add 3,500 new dwelling units, 7,000 new residents, and 5,000 new jobs to West Calgary. Efforts to fundamentally reshape how suburban places function require strong leadership and support. In the case of West District, it came from both the city and the unyielding dedication of the developer, Truman Homes. The rethinking of development sites like West District as comprehensive city building opportunities will be essential to creating a new kind of suburban future that makes sustainable and efficient use of limited resources like land, energy, infrastructure, services, and municipal investment.
And that concludes our awards presentation. I'd just like to congratulate all this year's recipients and thank everyone who took the time to prepare a submission. Thank you.
Congratulations again to all the nominees and recipients of the awards.